I am so sorry. Thank you, Scaredy Cat. I apologize profusely for that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of the Professor and Ditto Show. That sucks. I was talking about this image that I'd gotten framed. Good thing I had visual cues, because that would have sucked double if I'd just been sitting here going like this the whole time and there hadn't been any audio. So thank you very much, Scaredy Cat, for that. I'm going to go ahead and leave the mic right there. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Thank you again for tuning in. Pink sus. Pink is always sus. I've got Pink's helmet just off to the side here. But anyway, yeah, you guys, I actually highly encourage these frames aren't as expensive, as you might think. No, the video is not breaking up. I am just stuttering quite a bit. But I would encourage you guys to do this as well. If you guys have a favorite fictional character or something, this is a good, interesting, like a conversation starter. This is something you should just like leave in your house somewhere. I don't get any visitors up here. You know, I live in the sky, literally above the rest of society with Ditto and the other Pokemon. But like, if I did have visitors, this is the kind of thing that I would just leave. Like if I had kids or a spouse or something, I would just leave this in front of them. Not enough to cover the other image, but enough to like be like kind of close enough. So that way people would come in and they'd be like, oh, did you draw that? And be like, no. Do you know these people? I mean, in my case, I'd have to say, yeah, I know these people. But I mean, think about it this way. This is a joke that my friends and I used to do. We would go to Goodwill or whatever the local thrift store is, and we would look for picture frames. We would look for just random picture frames that people had donated, and we would buy one each. And they would always have, for whatever reason, a lot of people wouldn't take the pictures that had been in the picture frames out before they would donate said picture frames. Maybe a boyfriend or girlfriend got kicked out. Maybe a person passed away and the family just didn't want that particular image. Whatever the case might be, there was always random picture frames with random pictures of random people in said random picture frames. That's a lot of random. Anyway, my friends and I would pick up these various random images, and we would buy them and we would take them home, and we would either replace another image. Like if this was my wall of family members, I would replace like that one right up there, like there, or maybe this one that I did, Scyther and Salamon's Tag Team GX, an image that I drew a few years ago, or not a few years ago, it was like a year ago. Anyway, I would just replace that with some random bald guy with a mustache, and just anyone asked me about it, I would just be like, I'm not entirely sure who that is, but dang, he's got a sexy mustache. Just something to like make them feel uncomfortable, because I find that kind of funny. I feel like if you're not feeling very uncomfortable at least once per day, then then you're not providing entertainment to someone else. But that's just a personal philosophy. Please don't quote me on that. Hey, thank you, Jake. Thank you very much. Right back at you. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I absolutely am. I have a brand new setup. I don't know if you guys can tell or not. You probably can't, because the camera's a little out of it. Actually, let me show everybody. Scaredy Cat on YouTube. I'm streaming both as usual on YouTube and on TikTok. On YouTube, Scaredy Cat says, imagine an Among Us game show with GoPros on each player. That's an Ellen type game. Oh no, Ellen wouldn't dare touch something like that. No, that's Swamp Sniper. Someone on YouTube actually did that already, except everybody wore those inflatable like reverse morph suits. So everybody kind of looked like they were ultra sized, and they all had, he's an airsoft YouTuber normally, so everyone had airsoft guns instead of knives and whatever else. They still had tasks to do. It was fun. It was scripted, but it was very, very funny, and I highly recommend you check them out if you haven't already. Hey, what's your best Pokemon card? I'm glad you asked. My best Pokemon card to date that isn't already on the wall behind me, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have a couple of Pokemon cards. I guess they're just a frame for everyone on YouTube. I don't know why. I should probably let me just move that up. There we go. Is that better for you guys? I feel like that's a little better. Any card that's not already on the wall behind me here would probably be this one. This one would probably be my best card, quote unquote. This is my card. This is Ditto and I know you guys can't see it very well, but that's Ditto and I. It's got our QR codes on there. I customized the back myself. That's my trademarked symbol right there. That's my logo. And Ditto and I aren't entirely sure how to go about it yet, but we do want to start doing commissions after the Halloween contest, which Scaredy Cat just brought up. So Servine is pretty good. Servine's pretty good. And yes, Servine does have hands. I don't know who is continuing to spread the rumor that the serpent dude doesn't have hands. He's got hands, all right? You can clearly see them. They just aren't very big, all right? It's T-Rex hands, T-Rex hands. Anyway, Clueless says, Ditto. Yes, Ditto. Somebody asked, you make Magic the Gathering cards? Not yet, but I am willing to stray that far down the beaten path. Costume contest. For anyone who isn't aware, on Instagram and on TikTok, if you find the video that announces said costume contest, basically dress up like Ditto and I. Whoever does the best impersonation of Ditto and I using the audio from that video, we will take a capture. We will take a screenshot of their cosplay, and we'll turn that into a custom Pokemon card, and we'll mail that to them for Halloween. So there you go, guys. If you want to be, hopefully, there's going to be, I don't know how many winners there's going to be yet, but if you want a chance to be made into a custom Pokemon card, then by all means, join the contest. Like, there's the only one stopping you is you. Gotta say, it's not that hard to pretend to be Ditto and I. Sorry, Ditto, I almost like flung you off my shoulder just there. That would have been funny. Anyway, where is, oh my gosh, I forgot the other one. Ditto, you mean Pudding? Where's Pudding? You guys want to see Pudding? Is that what you guys want to see? I have no shortage of Dittos around here. We've got Angry Ditto on the wall behind me over here. Angry as per usual. We've got my Ditto, of course. I mean, they're all my Dittos, but we've got like the Ditto here beside me. He still doesn't have a nickname. Never thought to really give him one. He doesn't really want one. You guys want to see Pudding. Pudding is the other Pokemon, or the other Ditto we have. I guess I'll get her down. Come here, Pudding. Yeah, they want to see you. No, I don't. Oh dear. All right, Dio, fine. You can come with us too. All right, Sharkhead. No. Leave the shark head, please. Leave the shark head. Thank you. All right, here we go. You guys good? I think you guys are good. All right, here. You guys wanted to see him? Here's Pudding on the side here. On my left, your right, I think. And here's Dio. And this is almost all of the Dittos that I have. Not all of them, obviously, but this is some of most of them. What's your fave video game apart from Pokemon? That's a really good question. My favorite video game currently that I've been playing has to be, I don't know. The most recent one that I played was Among Us, but favorite of all time, Halo Reach is still pretty high up there, I gotta say. Halo 3 is probably one of the best Halo games that I've ever played, but Halo Reach has a lot of sentimental value to me. A lot of what's the word? Nostalgia. Thank you, Ditto. A lot of nostalgia. What if Pudding is a Mew who doesn't want to show itself? Are you a Mew? Are you a Mew? Are you a Mew? Nothing. I don't know. I don't know. Seems kind of sus, Pudding, if I do say so myself. You seem kind of sus. Anyway, I'm going to do my best to keep up with everybody's comments, by the way. I can't guarantee that I'll be with everyone or that I'll be able to address every single question, but I will do my darn diddly best. Here we go. Thanks for coming on my live. Oh, well, thank you. You were awesome. I love tuning into your guys' live streams for as long as I can. I can't always stay for the whole live stream, but when I can pop in, I love doing that. You guys are always worth listening to. All Ditto are small beans. Yeah, except when they don't want to be. But yeah, they are definitely small beans. Purple sus. Purple is always sus. No. I'll tell you who's always sus. Dark green. Dark green is always sus. Always super sus, and brown is always the victim. I mean, I've been in maybe 2 matches. I played a lot of Among Us. Only 2 matches where brown was actually the imposter. It's almost always dark green. Always. Even if it's not dark green is making life impossible for the rest of us by not doing their tasks. Anyway, what's your favorite series? I like XYZ the most. Ooh, that's the one with Serena, right? I think that's my overall favorite. Although the new one in the Galar region, not that bad. Not that bad at all. Now, I'm pretty sure it's Purple who is sus. I agree. I agree, Liz. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Mine isn't a cosplay, but I'm guessing you liked it. Absolutely. You guys, I want you to at least try dressing up like Ditto and I in order to enter the contest. But as long as you use the audio, then you're in. All right. We're not being like mega strict or anything. This isn't like a Mr. Beast contest or anything like that. All right. What segment is this? Well, we're just kind of chatting for now. I have my hands full, if you couldn't tell. Got Dio in one hand and Pudding in the other, but I am willing to put them down. Just get to sit right there on the floor. Pudding, I'm going to put you next to the Pokeball. Right there. Yeah, you can see the gray sky out there. I got to say, I never get tired. For anyone who's been in an airplane and you've looked down and you've seen the clouds, never get tired of that view. ever. Never get tired of looking down on the clouds. Anyway, let's go ahead. I dressed up as a form of Ditto. There, that was my cosplay. Approved. What do you think of communism? Oh, that's a very good question. I think that communism has been tried one time too many, and it's never going to work, ever. No, I don't care what you call it, socialism, communism, studied them both extensively. I've written college essays on them, on how they have promised to work and never have. And I just don't, you guys can meme about it all you want. I actually enjoy some of the memes. I think they're quite funny. But at the same time, it just, as an actual like thing, as an actual entity, a thing, like it's almost a religion to some people, which is really, really weird. I don't know. Anyone that thinks of government as a form of religion is just super weird and doesn't really understand the concept of government in the first place. But like, I don't know. It doesn't work. It doesn't. I do know, actually. I shouldn't say I don't know. I do know communism just doesn't work. Neither does socialism. And it all just falls flat on its face. It's really funny when they do that. Well, it's not really funny because usually a lot of people die. But you guys get the point. Anyway, can you join my Among Us stream later tonight? I'm more than happy to. Just let me know on Discord if you're a part of my Discord server, and send me an invite. I'm more than happy to play Among Us with you guys. Legend E, welcome. But yeah, speaking of that, you two should run for president. Oh, dude, I'd do that in a heartbeat. Would you guys vote for Ditto and I if we ran for president? That'd be sweet. I'd totally do it. And Ditto would obviously come with me. We'd have to find somewhere to store the lab in the meantime. But I mean, yeah, we would totally do that. Ah, scaredy cat. There you go. Well, we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out after the stream. But as I've mentioned, Ditto for president. Thank you guys. Seriously, that would be awesome. I should do something like that around November. Oh, you can't vote? That's totally fine. I've noticed that like the nastiest people, I'm obviously not that involved in politics. I mean, I do what I have to for college, obviously. And college is based around whoever is in charge of the university, whatever their politics are. That filters down into all the different college courses. If you're reading an example of how to write an essay, it's about socialism or something like that. Or it's the reverse side and it's about the founding fathers or freedom or like something like that. It's very subtle how they do it. And yeah, because I am lazy. Oh, well, there you go. But yeah, I outside of that, I don't really get involved in politics. But if I ever were, I mean, come on, if Kanye West can do it, surely Ditto and I, at some point down the road, I'm sure at some point we can throw our name on the ballot. Maybe you guys could write us in. Oh gosh, can you imagine like waking up after the election and just, oh, by the way, Professor and Ditto, you guys have been elected as the next chief of command. Is that what it's called? Commander-in-Chief. That's what it is. Commander-in-Chief. Sorry, dyslexic. You guys have been elected as the next Commander-in-Chief. But anyway, I'll tag you in my TikTok post. Sweet. There you go. Yeah, DM me on Instagram. That's a great way to get in contact with me. And yeah, also, obviously, I play a lot of Pokemon. So if you guys ever want to trade or battle or do anything like that, you will lose. But by all means, you are always welcome to challenge me. Have you heard of FNAF or Sonic? I've heard of both. In fact, close to Halloween night, I do have not sister location. What is it we have? Ultimate Custom Night. That's what it is. We have Ultimate Custom Night downloaded onto our laptop, and I am more than willing to stream myself playing that. I did do a test run with Ditto. We recorded it, and unfortunately, the footage got corrupted. And by that, I mean we edited the whole thing, and we tried to transfer it onto YouTube, and that audio and video was completely corrupted, and we couldn't do anything with it, other than short of like taking my phone and like recording the screen. So unfortunately that happened, but I am planning on playing more of that if we clear 200,000 followers before Halloween on TikTok. So let that go. Let that happen. I have my Lapras. I will not lose. Yes, you will. Sir, do you have Minecraft? I do. Liz can attest to this. I play Minecraft with her regularly, with some of our other friends regularly. It's a fun time. I always do survival because I'm not a wuss, and it's a fun time. It's a fun time. Let's see. My Servine will destroy. This is an hour-long show program that we do every single week on Friday, and the first segment is always mystery gifts. Mystery gifts. Ooh, basically, this would be the part of the show where I reach down and I pull out some letters, like a stack of letters that you guys have sent me, And, I go through them all and read your guys' personal information in front of thousands of strangers. And surprisingly, people haven't been sending me letters recently, which is kind of sad. If you send me a letter, then you get free Pokemon cards. But apparently people aren't really interested in that. But if some of you out there would like to send me something, I know Liz has something coming, but if you guys would like to send me something, my P.O. Box is P.O. Box 580 368 Houston, Texas. It is in my profile description. And for everyone on YouTube, you can just rewind the video and watch it later. So there's that. P.O. Box 580 368 Houston, Texas 77058. So, yeah. By all means, hit me up, guys. Hit me up. If you want to send me a letter, I will send you free Pokemon cards in return. Just be sure that you include an extra envelope, an empty one with stamps on it inside the letter that you send to us so that we can fill that up and mail that back to you because we can't afford postage for 200,000 people. But anyway, yeah, no mystery gifts this week, so sad day for that one. It's Ditto. He can take it, right, Pudding? Yeah, he can take it. Pudding's still over here, by the way. Still over here, still chilling. Sorry, I just dropped your hat, but Pudding's still here. Doing okay, girl? Yeah, she's doing fine. Just happy to be here. Well, we're glad to have you, Pudding, as per usual. Can't forget her hat either. Thank you, Liz, for sending us the tiny cowboy hats. So there's that. That leads us on to the next segment of the show here. I will not do the Renegade because you didn't ask nicely. Hey, can you make a Let's Play of Pokemon Uranium? I can. I don't know if I have the power on my laptop to download it because I did download Among Us and FNAF Custom Night for you guys. I don't know if Pokemon Uranium would also fit. On top of that, I am writing a book right now. For anyone who doesn't know, I write books in 1 week, and I am getting ready to write the sequel to Prez Troll. That was the first novel that I wrote in a single week based on a random writing prompt. And as soon as I have book 2 done, which will be before Christmas, we'll do another contest, an art contest for all you artists out there. You guys will get to design the cover art for the said book. But we'll worry about that another time. For now, let's focus on quirks of YouTube. It says quirks right there in the top. Quirks of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, quirks of YouTube. This is the part of the show where I go over things that I've noticed on the YouTube landscape and social media at large. I review some things that are funny, some things that have caught my attention, and I generally offend a lot of people because I don't think like other people do. I kind of go at my own pace, go my own direction, and that's why, I don't know, some people really like it. You guys like it, but some people really, really don't like it when I talk crap about their favorite YouTuber and or project that has been announced via YouTube. So let's start with something that I don't think anybody is a fan of. Well, I'm getting to the title right now, my friend. So Hollywood has announced that they are making, anyone know what Monster Hunter is? You guys ever heard of that game? So it's kind of a random, video game series. You've probably never heard of it. Yeah, so Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is kind of a big deal, like worldwide, very big deal. It is in Smash. It's in, it's got plenty of its own games to its name, going back to the PS2, now up to, it's on PC now. Monster Hunter is a game that I have played. I enjoyed it very, very much. It is very complicated, and it is like Pokemon, kind of, except you're killing and trapping things. So it's like Pokemon, but cranked up a little bit. So I thoroughly enjoy it. It's fun. Bad news, fans of Monster Hunter. Hollywood has gotten their dirty little paws all over it. They don't even have paws. They just have straight up nubs. No fingers, nothing. Just bloody stumps. They've gotten their bloody stumps all over Monster Hunter. The moron who created the, what do they call, Resident Evil films, the films that have little to nothing to do with the actual Resident Evil games, that are a slap in the face to anyone who actually enjoys Resident Evil games. Yeah. Not very good news. He and his wife, so the director and the star of the Resident Evil films, they are married. They are now making and producing and starring in a Monster Hunter film. Now, why is this a bad thing, you might ask? Well, let me ask you something. What is the most iconic part of Monster Hunter? It's the, oh my gosh, thank you, the Pokemon. Thank you so very much. Oh my gosh, no one asked for that, but Thank you. You did it anyway. Thank you so very much. If your username isn't already on our list of sponsors, it will be by the end of this show, I promise. Thank you so very much, the Pokemon 09. You are a legend. Thank you. Okay. As he's continuing to blow me away, Monster Hunter, the most iconic part, I would argue, about Monster Hunter is the armor. It's the loot that you get from defeating these incredible titans. Like you get to wear dragon heads as helmets. You get to use wings as actual wings for yourself. It's amazing. It's a great game. It's a great concept. And it allows people who, of course, will never have the opportunity to hunt dragons in real life to have that experience. So it's really, really cool. Hey, Bo, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Seriously, dude, you're amazing. I can't believe how much lives I've missed. Yeah, seriously, dude. We're glad to have you back, though. We're glad to have you all here. But yeah, absolutely. Save it for the end, my friends. Save it for the end. It will be here. The Renegade will happen as long as I can remember what it is. But anyway, it's been out of date for a while, all right? Cut me some slack. The Renegade hasn't been relevant for a while, all right? I don't know if it's making a comeback or anything. Anyway, Monster Hunter movie. The basic premise of the Monster Hunter movie, if you go off of the trailers that they've released on YouTube and on other platforms, this is the concept. Army guys. Whoa, hold up. What? Monster Hunter takes place in its own fantasy. Even it has elements of not science fiction, but it's like sci-fi fantasy. Monster Hunter takes place in its own unique universe where there's like its own technology. It's rustic, but it's futuristic. It's an amazing combination. That's what's Army dudes, and of course the strong, independent Army woman who is their leader. Obviously, you know. We don't see why we don't see how she's worked up to this point. All we see is that she's just their leader because she's, you know, sleeping with the director. So anyway, literally, she's his wife. Anyway, so dudes get sucked into the Monster Hunter universe. They're there. They start encountering monsters, and rather than picking up the giant swords and the crossbows and the enormous weapons Monster Hunter is known for, you know what they do? They stick to their rifles. Like idiots. You know, I'm not looking for realism in a Monster Hunter film. Okay, Hollywood, I know you're out there. I know some of you are watching. Some of you are watching, you're paying attention, you really want this to happen, or you're really pushing your agenda with all your force, with all your might. It's just not, oh, you can do a perfect Ditto impersonation? Let me know. Take a video of it, tag me in it. I want to see that. Anyway, oh, you can do a perfect Ditto impersonation? Let me know. Take a video of it, tag me in it. I want to see that. Anyway, so they're taking army dudes who don't use weapons for whatever reason. They use their rifles, which of course are completely ineffective against, you know, these giant monsters, because it's a giant freaking dragon that can tank at least 20 headshots with the biggest freaking sword you have ever seen. This is, oh gosh, it's a fantasy monster that can literally dig at the speed of light through the ground around you. Of course, you're not going to do jack against it with your little M16, all right? M16s are a great weapon, but not against fictional dragons, all right? That's just not how it works. This is the direction the film is going, and it looks like the only time, so of course all the army dudes are going to die except for the main chick. The main chick, of course, will somehow survive, probably at the expense, well, except for the ones from China, because this is a film that's being produced by Chinese companies. And we all know nothing bad ever happens when a film is produced by a Chinese audience, or by a Chinese company and an American company, but primarily for Chinese audiences using American stereotypes, because that's what these army guys are. They are American U.S. soldier stereotypes, and it's really dumb. It's an overused trope. Like it's really, really dumb. Anyway, this film looks like the main heroine doesn't even pick up a sword until the end of the film, and even then, like, oh gosh, it just looks like a disaster. You guys can check out the trailer if you want. I don't think I'm going to link it in my description because I want to stay as far away from this as possible. It is a dumpster fire waiting to happen. And I know that some of us said, unless the world is ending, I still wouldn't see this crap. Well, guess what? The world, it's not really ending. It's at kind of a standstill right now. But even in this stage, I will not spend a single dime, a single penny, a single kaputnik. You aren't getting a single kaputnik out of me, Hollywood, for your garbage films, all right? You want to make a Monster Hunter film, you darn well better do it right. And you done messed up. You done messed up. We can already tell. And if there's any comfort from any of this, comments have been turned off on most of the trailers, the announcement trailers on YouTube. Comments have been turned off. The dislike ratio, at least when I checked it, when like the first hour that the trailer came out, the dislike ratio was just behind the like ratio. And it looks like a lot of people are also at best, reserved curious, if that's an emotion someone can have. It's just absolutely terrible. It is going to be a terrific failure, and I look forward to watching it burn in the same way that a couple of Cub Scouts would look forward to watching a compressed can of beans burn in the fire. It's going to be an explosion. Someone's probably going to get hurt, but hey, we all knew it was going to happen anyway. So even said, that was the first little bit of news from, quirks of YouTube. Another thing I noticed this week. So I think I know why Dream and George and Snapnap and all them and Ant, I think I know why they haven't produced the next Minecraft Manhunt yet. I know that there's a couple of reasons why. Well, I think the main reason is Minecraft just went through a huge update. You guys know all about Super Smash Brothers, Minecraft Steve being added to the roster. I think that's amazing. I think it's brilliant. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to break the game, and I'm interested to see how Nintendo tries to rebalance things, or if they just leave it alone. But what do you think they are going to make from it? Oh, from the Monster Hunter film? What do I think they're going to make from it? I don't know. Depending on how much the film costs, will depend on how much they market it. So I think that it's not going to be a Sonic scenario. That much I know. Unless they completely scrap the film and build it back up from scratch, which in some cases works. Most of the time it doesn't. That's like once in a blue moon that occasionally works. I'm very proficient on books. You guys can't see it, but I have my library behind me. And I mean, if you're going to write books, you got to read books. If you want to create video games, you got to play video games. That doesn't apply to everything, all right? I'm not going to take that thought very far, but you guys get the point. Anyway, so there, I don't think it's going to make very much. I think it'll gross a little bit in China. Nobody in America is going to see it because they're not going to release it to films. I mean, the next part of quirks of YouTube. So Disney just released their, or Disney Pixar, I should say, just released their film Soul. It's just called Soul. Looks like a generic, it's kind of a sweet film. I don't know. It just looks like another clone of Inside Out. If I can be brutally honest, it genuinely looks like Inside Out, but the main character gets made into one of the emotions. I know that's not what the film is, but that's what it looks like. And I'm not terribly interested in seeing it. But turns out I don't have to be terribly interested in seeing it because Disney isn't letting it go to theaters. So even though some theaters are open, the main Hollywood bigwigs are leaving. I don't know why, but they are just doing their darn movie theaters. That's what it is. Sorry, I'm having a total brain fart. They're doing their best to see movie theaters go out of business forever. That is their goal. I'm convinced that is their goal because they keep releasing films and then pulling them out of theaters when no one is going to theaters. I think it's absolutely dumb. Anyway, Disney's Soul or Disney Pixar's Soul doesn't look very good either. I'm not going to. There we go. So moving along here, I've got one more thing for quirks of YouTube. Then we'll just go right back into your guys' questions because you guys have got a lot of them. I encourage you to keep asking them until I address them. You guys have my permission to spam. Please do it. This is, don't call Pixar generic. Oh, please, dude. When Toy Story 4 came out, Pixar went generic. All right. Have you guys seen Toy Story 4? All right. I saw it. I enjoyed it the first time. Then I went back and saw it again, and I noticed things. I started to notice holes. I noticed things that were wrong. I was like, wait a second. That's not Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear doesn't do that. He's had like two films to develop his character. Wait a second. That's not Woody. Woody doesn't act like that. Woody wouldn't just turn around and abandon everything. That's not Bo. You're calling that Bo Peep. It doesn't even look like Bo Peep. Hardly even sounds like her. This is not Toy Story. This is like an extended fan fiction. Oh no. That's the direction Pixar has gone, all right? Soul could change everything. I don't think it will. I do not think it will. The fact that they are leading with from the creators of Inside Out, while the film Soul simultaneously looks like a clone of Inside Out, it's not a good sign, all right? I am sensing another Good Dinosaur here. For anyone who doesn't know, Good Dinosaur is rubbish, all right? It is an absolute rubbish of a film, and that is an example of Hollywood going in at the last possible second, changing everything up, and then just leaving the film creators to their own devices, being like, all right, we changed everything. We made a couple of changes, just a couple of changes. We think this character should be this. We think this character should be that. Change the script up a little bit. All right, have fun. We need this out by a certain date. Excuse me? That's the situation that Hollywood has been in for quite some time. So yeah, Pixar being generic, come at me, man. Like they're absolutely have gone generic at this point. They've been doing everything that the rest of Hollywood's been doing. Almost no original ideas in recent years. They've been releasing sequel after sequel after sequel that nobody asked for. And the original films that they do release are trash. They're just absolutely trash. And that's because Hollywood doesn't have the guts. Hollywood has no guts. None whatsoever. No guts. They are scared to take chances. But in reality, chances are the only things that are going to save them. They need to hire new writers. They need new executives. They need new everything. They need to kick out the old, kick them onto the curb with the rest of the homeless people, and that's it. Coco was not good. Coco was a terrible film. Yes, I have seen it. No, it is not enjoyable. It is a long film. Oh my gosh, it is long. The reveal, easy to see. Don't try to use it's a kid's movie, all right? It is Coco invested in, something that adults could get invested in as well. Coco was not that, all right? Coco was generic as generic can be, and it doesn't help that it's not nearly as good as The Book of Life. When Guillermo del Toro makes a better Cinco de Mayo related, animated film that not only looks better from an animated standpoint, but also reads better as a film. Like the flow in Coco was awful. Coco was a boring, generic film. If you enjoy any of these films I'm ripping into, good for you. All right. I obviously did not enjoy them. I think Pixar has kind of gone down the tube, and it's a shame because it's freaking Pixar, dude. Why? Why would Pixar do this? Why would they go down this route? Why would they do exactly the reason that I liked Pixar when I was younger? I still do kind of like them. But the reason that I really, really liked Pixar when I was younger, that made me want to be part of Pixar, was the fact that they didn't do what everyone else was doing. They were trying to be unique. I am so fed up with people doing what everyone else is doing. Just going with the flow. Oh, all these other films are doing this? Great. That's it. Let's stick with that. No, don't do that. If there's a trend, don't hop on the trend. Do your own thing. You know the problem with trends? They're short. They're very short. They are not very sustaining. You can only hop on a trend for so long before it dies. All right? Trends are not sustainable. And Hollywood, for whatever reason, they have been following the trend forever. And the trend has been, for the last decade now, the trend has been to just create as many sequels as possible. Because you don't have to put as much thought into it. Characters, they're guaranteed to bring people in. Marvel is most notorious for this, and I like Marvel. They are not free of this, all right? Marvel did it best, I think. But even then, oh gosh, dude. Like that just, the magic of the film, of movies, for me, was seeing everyone's different take on something. But when everyone is doing the same thing, you guys remember The Incredibles? That's a good film. The Incredibles? Incredibles 2? Not very good. Right? As a very cynical, I don't want to say nasty, but as a very, agree with who I like personally. But he was right when he said this. He said, the only action that you take that matters is the, he was right when he said this. He said, the only action that you take that matters is the are the actions that you take that involve your wallet. I don't know if he phrased it quite like that, but your actions speak louder than your words, but the only action that really matters is the one you do with your wallet. And to the entertainment industry, that is true. Morally, no, that is not true. But yeah, you guys get the point. The best of my ability. You guys can ask me anything you want, but do be warned, I am not someone who speaks what everyone else is thinking. In fact, I'm incredibly cynical at times, if it wasn't obvious already. So you guys can ask me anything you want. It could be a personal question. It could be a religious question. It could be about Pokemon. Obviously, I know the most about Pokemon. But of those subjects, I think I know the most about Pokemon. But every answer I give is guaranteed 110%, so long as you don't fact check me. So that being Pixar film. That is a really good question. I would say the last not generic Pixar film that I remember seeing, which is hard. I'm trying to separate nostalgia from what is considered non-generic at this point, because Pixar has a formula. I would say the last non-generic, it's not Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 was very generic. I really liked Pixar Toy Story 3. I thought it was a great send-off. They didn't need a fourth one. Wasn't Toy Story 3? It definitely wasn't Cars 3. Wasn't The Good Dinosaur? Shoot, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I think one that was not a generic Pixar film was probably Bug's Life. Bug's Life didn't do very well. Gosh. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give it to this film. The last non-generic Pixar film that I remember seeing was Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2 was weird. It didn't feel very good, but I don't think that it was generic, if that makes sense. I don't think that it was very generic at all. It was nice, the subtle messaging about people are always in front of screens. We're dependent on our screens. I thought that was interesting. I liked that. And I, of course, love The Incredibles. Incredibles 2 wasn't a very good film overall, but it was 15 years too late for one. But I think that's like the last non-generic film that I can think, non-Pixar generic film, if I can be totally frank. Inside Out is another good example, but to this day, I have not watched Inside Out all the way through. So I can't really give my opinion on that. Well, I can. It's probably be the same as yours, to be totally honest. I think it's a great film. I think it's rather sweet. And I think that Disney's Soul is basically another Inside Out. Anyway, next question. Do we really need hands? Liz asks. Do we really need hands? Yeah. We need hands. All right. This right here, these things, these are kind of important. These left things that other animals can't do. And this is important, but this thing in here, this is the most important. What you do with this transfers out to everything else. All right. So I think hands are very, very essential. And you need everything, by the way. I have seen, because it's Halloween, let's talk about a spooky subject for a second. I've seen a couple of horror films where people sacrifice certain body parts, certain limbs, all in the name. Like, I hate gory films. I hate gore in general. I think it's very lazy, lazier than scazy, lazier than jump scares. I think gore is lazier than jump scares because it's not necessarily scary. It's just gross. People are still, doing this, but sorry, Ditto. People are still like, doing this, but they're not doing it because they're scared. It's just gross. Those films would make you believe, the films where someone sacrifices a certain body part in order to escape something, those films would have you believe that pieces of your body are non-essential. If it wasn't essential, it wouldn't be on you. All right. Just bear that in mind. That's all I have to say on that. Next question. Would you play Halo 3 again if you had the chance? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would play it. I would play Laszlo. I would do a Laszlo of Halo 3 if I had the chance. Laszlo, for anyone who doesn't know, is legendary on all skulls, if I remember correctly, which just means that everything is cranked up to 11, maybe even 12. It is extra hard, extra difficult, and I love Halo 3 that much. Halo 3 it's worth it. It is a great game, and I don't know if Halo Infinite's going to be able to pull people back to Halo's side, because Halo 5, and Halo 4 both just kind of wrecked things overall. Welcome, MaxPad. I'm glad you're here. Next question. What do you mean by the title? Don't remember. I don't remember what the title was. Please remind me what the title was. Jar Jar Binks, welcome. We're glad to have you. There's the official Jar Jar Binks is on TikTok. Thank you. Thank you very, very much for joining us. I love your videos. I really, really do. Don't give up. By the way, if you guys have anyone who's critical of your content, critical of you personally, who encourages you to stop making content, you need to take that as an indication that you need to continue making content, all right? Because those people, they're not you, all right? They're not you. They might have similar experiences to you, but they're not in your position. The only one who should have any say in what you are and are not doing is you, all right? Don't make decisions based on other people's opinions. Make decisions based on what you want to do right now, all right? If you do that, if you skip trends, if you produce the kind of content that you want to see that's independent of the trends that have been set, of the modern standard, if you work independent of that, you will never not be happy. It'll be stressful, don't get me wrong, but you'll always be happy. You'll always be satisfied, and you'll always produce the kind of content that even you can go back and rewatch. That's just my experience, though. Next question. Did you hear that FNAF is getting a movie made by Blumhouse? I did, and I also heard that that film has been inevitably delayed. I don't know if that is still the mentality towards it. I'm all for seeing a FNAF film. I don't think it's going to be very good. If it's anything like the Slender film, but I don't know. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. I think FNAF hasn't run its course just yet, but it's, you know, I'm interested to see a FNAF film. Misa getting lots of support. You deserve it, man. Jar Jar Binks gets way too much hate. I genuinely think so. I had no problem whatsoever with Jar Jar Binks growing up. Now as an adult, seeing how everyone else, you know, I say that in heavy quotations because it's not everyone else. It's the people with the loudest voices that have a problem with Jar Jar Binks. All the rest of us are like, yeah, he's there. You know, he's a character. He's cool. I grew up thinking he was hysterical, and I stand by that. I really do. I stand by that. Jar Jar Binks is funny. All right. He's a funny character to me. He's a nice break from the dry performance from Liam Neeson, which in and of itself, I think is rather appropriate for his character. He's a nice break from the politics of the prequel trilogy. And even when he gets involved in the politics, I prefer seeing him as opposed to the CGI Army 1 or CGI Army 2. But that's a video for another day. Next question. What do you mean by the title? It is My Address is Dangerous. My Address is Dangerous? I have no idea what you're talking about. I really don't. If you got married, would Ditto be your best man? Yeah. Let's say yes for now. I mean, personally, it would be Salamence. Dude, calm down. I'd make you the ring bearer. I was going to say bear ring. I was going to make you the ring bearer. Yeah, you could just slime along. You could have pudding next to you. Yeah, you could do that. It'd be great. Or heck, I mean, if anything, he'd be on my shoulder the whole time. So, hey, you marry me, you get the whole package, all right? It's like Psych. It's like Gus and Sean. You marry one of them, you get them both, all right? That's not in a weird way. They're just connected at the hip. Anyway, hey, sir, what do you think of SCPs? Yes, that is an excellent question. For the most part, I like SCPs. I think they're very cool. Some of them are genuinely terrifying. They're very original. And I think they take the concept that the X-Files kind of ran with, and they do a better job of it because it's the internet. It's based in the internet. They don't have much restriction. There was a time where I wanted to create SCPs on the internet. I went through a phase when I was a teenager where I went at 106, especially spooky. There's so many good ones. There's so many good SCPs. SCPs are good enough to where, if you guys don't know what SCPs is, I'm not going to spoil anything. I want you to do the investigation yourself. Yeah, not all of them are dangerous too. Some of them are funny. Some of them are jokes. Are you sure Ditto isn't 999? I don't know. We've brought up 999 on both platforms. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't think he is. Are you? He says, yeah, of course, now that I'm asking him. But I don't think he's SCP-999. The cool thing about an SCP is an SCP can be anything. It can be anything. It can be anyone. And some of them are very dark. Some of them are just absolutely hysterical. But I love SCPs. There was a period where I wanted to write SCP entries. I wanted to study them. Next question. Anybody else have a Doki Doki phase? I didn't have so much a Doki Doki phase as much as I noticed there was a lot of Doki Doki content on my YouTube feed. And of course I watched it because, you know, hey, horror game parading around as anime girls? Sure, why not? What the heck? I'm not doing anything else. It's wow, like 7:20 on a Thursday night or something. Why not? You know, that's you know, that was my experience with it. I don't know. You guys let me know. Next question. I'm sorry, we've been skipping nobody on TikTok. I'm going to focus on them for a little bit. Anybody else? Oh, we just asked that. I see you revamped your room. Well, this is my office technically, but yeah, it's the standard for my films. I don't know if you guys have noticed yet, but I've tried to do a little bit better on my editing. It doesn't always turn out very well, but oh, Max, that's right. I spent $90 on Pokemon cards and got nothing. Yeah, that happens. Pokemon, that's why I, generally speaking, I don't buy a lot of like boxes or booster packs anymore. If I want a card, I'll just buy I am planning for Christmas getting myself. There have been a lot recently, Salamence V and VMAX cards. And well, I don't think there's a VMAX card. Is there a VMAX card? There might be. There's definitely a V card, a Salamence V card that I really, really want. And there's also a Salamence X. It's just X. Before EX, there was X. There's a Salamence X card that I really want to get to. I'm trying to collect every single Salamence card out there. And I'm freakishly close, just so you guys are aware. But anyway, next question. Do you like 3008? I can't remember that one off the top of my head. Can I make a Discord for you? Well, Mr. Moo, you don't have to worry about that. I actually do have a Discord, but it is only available to patrons. So if you guys join my Patreon, if you feel like you got at least $2 of entertainment out of my content at any point, then by all means, join Patreon. You get more out of it than what you put into it. And yeah, so that would be my advice. People on my Discord, we play Among Us together. We play Jackbox party games. We play a lot of games together. So yeah. Can I make a disc? Oh, we just addressed that. Next question. I used to trade Pokemon cards back in 3rd grade with other peeps. You and me both, man. My very first Pokemon card, I'll never forget it. First Pokemon card was an OG Raichu. That thing was beautiful. I loved that card. I love that card. OG Raichu was freaking fat, but yeah, it's it was cool. I enjoyed it. I have a Cynthia's Rayquaza EX. Okay, dude, that's cool. By the way, for anyone who collects anything, I don't care if it's Magic the Gathering, I don't care if it's Pokemon, I don't care if it's baseball and basketball cards. Apparently people still collect those in some countries. In unique, very rural areas of the world. You guys really like them. Some of these you guys have sent to me. Some of these you guys have sent to me. I'm never going to get rid of those. All right, Ditto Sus. Thank you. Oh my gosh, stop skipping the question. Do you support the LGBTQ? Do you support the LGBTQ? Well, if you refer to my previous video, then you'll know exactly how I feel about that. To summarize all of that up, I don't care what you are. You're a human being, and therefore I will take a bullet for you, if need be. Hashtag humanity first. All right. Shout out to my boys who came up with that. Anyway, I have a full 2 binders of Pokemon cards. Do you? Funny you should bring that up. So I have on top of this beautiful thing right here, which I will set right there. We've got one right here. Thank you for the fan art, by the way, whoever did this. We've got one, as you can see, full of Pokemon cards and an unopened, apparently this was discontinued, the Transformers Siege card game. Really, really like this, by the way. But yeah, that goes in there. By the way, that doesn't extend Nintendo Kid. I may not agree with everyone out there, but it doesn't matter if I agree with you or not. You're a human being. You guys do realize that we're it. Like it's just humanity out there, by the way. Like well, it's not just humanity. We have every reason to think there's other things out there. But if there are other things out there, all we've got are each other. All right? That's it. We shouldn't focus on petty differences. All right? I don't care what your preferences are. All it takes is one disaster, one natural disaster, I won't go too far into it. I talked about it in my last video. One natural disaster, one flood, one earthquake, one meteor, one invasion. It doesn't matter what it is. The first things to go are people's sexual preferences and people's political values, right? That stuff does not matter. I have been in natural disasters. I've been in survival situations. It does not matter what someone's personal preferences are in that point. All that matters is that a human being? All right, sweet. I'm with them. That's it. That's how I live my life. That's how I live my life. You're a human being. I got your back. All right. You need my help? I'm on it. That being said, I expect it to go both ways. If I need your help, I better be able to call on you. All right. It's just how it works. That is the first binder. Second binder, Snom Gang. If you guys would like to join the Snom Gang, please consider subscribing and or following, just so you guys know. But this is my collection of Salaman's cards. There's a lot more where that came from, that first page there. Salaman's cards, but you guys can see more of that for yourself in some of my other videos. That is the second binder right there. The third binder is the biggin. We got the biggin right here. These are cards that you guys have sent me. You guys have designed custom cards of me right here. You guys can't see it very well, but these are cards that you guys have sent me over the years. I keep all of them, and I am not getting rid of them. So no matter what happens, if there's a fire, heaven forbid there's a fire, this is one of the first things I'm grabbing, on top of Ditto. But you guys get that. Anyway, I have, point being, I have a lot of Pokemon cards, and there's always room for more. I open plenty of cards throughout the year, and the reason I do that is because so on Halloween night, what we do is we land the lab in like a public place, and I don't just hand out candy on Halloween night. I also hand out Pokemon cards. I bundle them together, everything, GXs, EXs, holographics, reverse rares, whatever it might be. I hand out Pokemon cards as well as candy because that's freaking awesome. And what kid doesn't want that? Adults want that. Just saying. Should I buy lab employee? I would say yeah. I mean, the higher the tier, the more benefits you get. And I believe, if it's not too late, there was a special offer that was released recently where you could get a free copy of my book if you joined, I think it was the lab employee tier. So if you guys, and I'm going to do that going forward. So if you guys want free copies of my book, Sir Mr. Fishy, I'll extend it in your case. But if you guys want free copies of the book that I wrote in a single week, I might add, not to brag, that's the way to get it. Otherwise, you have to go directly through me, through my website, which I still haven't set up yet. But if you want a free copy of my book, join Patreon. You get way more than just the free book. Anyway, I take very good care of my patrons. I like to think so. Take very, very good care of my patrons. I'm on call for them 24/7. Again, human beings, I got your back. All right? Just how it is. I do live everywhere. Max speaks the truth. Someone asked what state I live in. I do move around quite a bit. Like in real life, I move a lot. Almost every week. I'm always in a new spot, and I like some states more than others. By the way, people in Utah, I do have to say this. I've been to Utah many times in my life. Why on earth is the air so bad? In the Salt Lake Valley specifically, why is the air so bad in your state? All right, this is coming from someone who has been to places like New York, California, Oregon, Texas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Arizona, areas with a lot of refineries. What the heck is going on in Utah that is causing the air to be so foul? All right, I'm genuinely curious. Like, people in Utah, I think should wear, I think people in Utah should wear masks 24/7 because the air quality is that bad. Like, seriously, I do not get what it is. I like going to Utah. I think the people are fantastic, but holy crap, your air is terrible. Anyway, I bet I challenge you. Oh, bring it on. You've already lost. I dare you to battle me through the screen. Through the screen? That's not going to end well. I've got you. What is it? 7. I almost opened it on accident. I went 7. Almost opened that. That would have been bad. 7, 8, 9, 10. Although he doesn't battle. So 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got you 13-6. Just saying. Hey, you challenge me. I decide the rules. That's how it works. Anyway, where does Ditto go to the vet? To me, I'm not like a trained veterinarian or anything, but like I'm into a full-sized version of a Snorlax. The best she can do is a mini Snorlax. Sup, dude? How you doing? Evie still is dealing with the and Lapras. Don't even get me started on Lapras. Poor Lapras has just been down in the dumps recently. He is getting better. He won't admit it. but he is getting better. Lapras is getting much better. His mental health is doing well. I mean, growing your organs back, that's Harry Potter crap right there, right? He's on a whole other level of pain, but he's getting better. He's a little deflated every once in a while, but he's down in the tank right now, down there with Gyarados. They're having fun. They haven't really connected in the way I wanted them to. It's really hard. Anyone who works with animals, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's like veterinarian stuff, anyone can tell you animals are unpredictable, just like people are unpredictable. You can kind of predict what something is going to do, but like, I don't know, say you get a new puppy and you have a dog at the house. You have no idea how the new dog is going to react to the puppy until you get them together in a room. Hey, Mochimon, welcome back. Glad to have you. But yeah, brother, I'm going to buy a lab employee. Do it, my friend. I believe you get free Pokemon cards on top of that. Kylie, welcome. How are you? Glad to have you here. But yeah, seriously, guys, like lab employee, way to go. Support us on Patreon. You get more than you put into it. That's all I can say. And we have some very, very special giveaways coming for new patrons in come Christmas time. So if you guys want to, I'll see you, Victini. But how about Houndoom? Houndoom is a classic example. Houndoom isn't so much sick as much as he was abandoned. You guys know how dogs are. If dogs get abused or left behind, they get feisty. Houndoom is honestly kind of nice. I give Houndoom a lot of crap. Not as much crap as I give Ditto, but Ditto's got thick skin. Houndoom is not as bad as you might think. I mean, he barks at every single bird that flies by the window, but he's a good dog. He's a very, very good dog. And seriously, like when the Pokedex says if you get burned by a Houndoom, it never stops burning, they are not kidding. It's real. All right. I haven't been burned yet, but I know some dudes who have, and either they're the best liars on earth or they're genuinely in pain 24/7. Anyway, hey, Professor, when will we study about the forms of a Meowth? That is a very good question. I am more than happy to do a special course on that. I do have an actual course that is coming out soon that on an app called Graphy. Like I'm not just a professor on YouTube and terrible and basing it on a snow level, huh? We've gotten that a lot recently. Like we've gotten a lot of snow level. This is the problem with having a snow themed